with yourself, Nikki. Before you began your partnership with Alexa Bliss, there was a bit of a reinvention you went through. Do you think that helped with the championship run and the championship opportunities that came after, or do you think you would have still had that as you were?
For me, when I coming from NXT, so I was in NXT and I was coming from NXT in January, coming to Raw and Smackdown. For me, I was evolving as a person, and then with that, your character kind of evolves too. So for me, it was a very natural kind of evolution from the girl I was in NXT and very easily, how do I describe it, easily agitated, easily excited.
Excitable.
And NXT Universe really got to know Nikki Cross in that way, and then coming up to coming to Raw and Smackdown, it was I was going through different experiences and I was reacting differently to what I was going through on Raw and Smackdown. So it was the development was, as you know, like I said, you know, we develop as people, and I think our characters develop too. And so for me, it was just very natural. And I think people were seeing different. And I think for the last 10 months, as I'd say 8 months, I was like, no, we're not in August, we're in November. The last 10, 11 months, I think everyone's seen different layers. So they've seen little flashes of Nikki Cross that they knew in NXT, but they've also seen this different layers to my personality, because you know, there's so much more to me than just one thing. Like, and people are like that too. So I think people just get to know the different sides of me. And then I think the championship and the partnership with Alexa and the friendship with Alexa has just helped me so much. And I think that, you know, we came together at the start of the year, springtime, and we worked hard. And I think we worked with each other really well, and our chemistry grew, and our in-ring, our tag team moves grew, and our moveset developed with each other. And we were able to become the NXT WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. So for me, it was just a very natural evolution, and I think, and we're still developing, we're still exploring, and I think people even now are still seeing different sides to my personality, and I just feel like I have so much to give, and there's so much I want to show the WWE Universe. So for me, I think it's just been a very exciting journey, and I hope that the fans are, you know, enjoying it too, and just getting to know me. And like I said, you know, you still have different elements of Nikki Cross. Still get very easily excited.
And just not angry. That's good.
Yeah, I'm working at Alexa's helped me with that. You know, Alexa's really helped me like be a bit more mellow. But sometimes when she's not there, it's hard to control that. It's the coffee. I think I have way too much caffeine intake. So
when they said to you they were going to pay you with Alexa, what was your initial reaction? Did you expect it to go as well as it did? Me and Alexa came together, and we wanted to work with one another because our friendship had started to grow, and so it all kind of, I said this before today as well, you know, it was life and art imitating each other. For us, I felt something like, I knew it was going to click right away, like, and right away it clicked, and right away something between us both felt right. So for me, I was like, I wasn't surprised at all, because I knew it worked. And there was just something more, because we're very similar in some ways, and we're very different in other ways. So we bounce off each other really well, but we also balance each other in different ways. And she's just such a pleasure to work with, and I love working with her. And you make it sound like a marriage.
It is.
It kind of is.
It is. Sorry, Lexi, it is. You know, so for me, it's I knew just something right away clicked, and I think for the WWE Universe, something clicked with them too, and they wanted to see me and Alexa, and they, you know, and like I said, we got all the way to the Tag Team Championships, and we plan on recapturing that again. So second time, first time, 2-time Women's Tag Team Champions.
Nikki all belts.
Nikki all belts, all the belts. We gotta get it right.
Cedric,
yes.
When you were at the top of 205 Live, it was a very popular time. You had the tournament and you had a lot of eyes on the product. Do you think you achieved everything you wanted to in that brand before moving to Raw?
No. I still think I could have done more. There's a lot of guys I still could have worked with. There's a lot of matches and first time ever we still could have done. You know, like we never had a cruiserweight ladder match. You know, there's a lot of things we never really done. Like there's tons, and
that'd be insane. That'd be
awesome. For years, we have been like, since the establishment to a thought about, a lot of the guys were thinking our dream scenario for WrestleMania ladder match, cruiserweight championship.
Oh wow, that would be amazing.
We crossed our fingers for years, and like even like knocked on doors, like who we talk to, we could like, hey, let's do this. We would love to do it.
Yeah.
And no, there's still so much that can be done, that will be done, that I would love to come back and do. for 205 Live, they're going to give them the opportunity.
Yeah, for a long time, you had the opening match of WrestleMania would be a ladder match and multi-man. I would have loved to see that.
That's what we wanted. Let's open up WrestleMania with a hot cruiserweight ladder match.
Yes.
What?
Because 205 is such amazing talent.
Ah.
So to imagine that on WrestleMania is just, hey, well, you know, WrestleMania's in Tampa
It is.
next year,
It is.
and it's a great little family vacation spot,
You know.
holiday. If you're in Scotland, holiday, you know, great holiday
Vacation
spot.
if
So
you're-
maybe we do a 205
I'm just saying.
ladder match in WrestleMania Tampa.
And
We-
not
we
have it on
could-
pre-show.
Yeah, not have it in pre-show, and then we could, you know, do some callbacks. Maybe me, Buddy, Mustafa would come back
Oh yeah,
for a special.
can I be in that?
205.
I'm under 205.
Come
I'm
on.
under 205.
Yeah, you're in there. Come on.
Height
Yeah.
or no?
I didn't say it. I didn't say
Are
it.
you making a short joke?
I did not.
Very sensitive about my height. Just kidding, I'm not.
It's just one of the best things about it.
Oh, thank you. Compared to small spaces. That sounded really sinister.
Where are you going to pop out of underneath the table at some point?
You know what? That explains a lot when you were creeping around NXT too. So yeah, it's very easy.
Explains a lot.
Yeah, it explains a lot.
We need someone to go in a box. There we go.
Nikki's the one to do.
Where's Nikki hiding?
We've got it now. You volunteer to go in there and just fit in a box. And be fine.
Cedric, do you find it more difficult now to make an impact, given there's such a massive roster, 3 shows essentially all merging into one at certain points?
Of course, it's way more difficult to make an impact, and the talent in WWE right now it's overflowing. It really is. Like you see every day, like just the guys that, oh man, I want to be on TV this week, you know, and then like, well, no, we got a whole other list of guys that can be on TV too. So it's hard to balance out who's gonna go where, you know, who's gonna do what, and because it's really just so much to really calculate at one time. Like when you got guys like Cesaro and Ricochet on opposite sides of the spectrum with Aleister Black in the middle, and then you got a Finn Balor over here, Undisputed Era down here.
But does that make the whole roster far more competitive than ever?
Way more. And you know what? Actually, that adds to one of the things we were saying earlier. That adds to the
Yeah.
pressure. It makes everyone better. It makes everyone work harder. Because if you really want it, now you got some real competition on all sides to compete with, and it's one of the things competition makes a better product.
Yeah, and also, you know, we have the Raw Monday nights on USA Network, we have NXT on Wednesday nights on the USA Network, we have Smackdown on Fox, we also have 205 and we have NXT UK. So that's 5 brands, and that is such an amazing amount of talent. So because we have the 5 shows and there's so many hours of television, and we have the WWE Network, there's some amazing opportunities for everyone, and it's just kind of, you know, week to week. So you might not see someone one week, but you might see them on another brand in 2 weeks' time, you know, and it's something very exciting. And I think this is the best time, and such an amazing opportunities for everyone.
And it's really easy to look at each roster from each brand and go, this is the best roster.
Yeah.
It's really easy to say that about any of those rosters.
Mm-hmm.
Nikki, I have to ask about Evolution 2.0, as it may or may not be. Do you know if it's happening, and do you want it to happen?
I would love it to happen. The Evolution 1 I was watching it and I was like, oh my god, this is fantastic, and this is such a wonderful thing, because, you know, women from the past, women from the present, and, you know, women of the future, because we have to remember that, you know, women back in 2000, you know, when I first started watching wrestling at WWE, it was Lita, and it was Trish Stratus, and it was Molly Holly, you had Victoria, you know, Gail Kim, Mickey James, you had all these women that were really breaking down barriers then, and then we had some in 2006. There's been so many different, every generation has broken down even more doors and more barriers. Yeah, so it's women from the past, they were getting to be celebrated. Women from the present were being were also, you know, they were being showcased, and then they were, and you know, all of that lays the groundwork for our future stars. Women like myself, you know, so for Evolution 2 that would present such an amazing, another showcase for where we've came from the first Evolution. So we will see what happens. I'm just so excited for all of our women's divisions. It's just a great time, and I think the Evolution gave the women's a long-lasting legacy stamp on it. So I would love to compete on Evolution 2.
You could see the excitement in your face just when I was asking the question, to be fair.
No, it was. I loved what I think it was Ivory in the Battle Royal from Evolution. It was awesome. She looked fantastic. She looks amazing.
It's amazing.
Oh, she looks wonderful. And the Riot Squad had a great match with Sasha, Bailey and Natalya. You had Nikki Bella and Ronda Rousey in the main event. You had Becky and Charlotte with their last woman standing match. It was just such a great card and such a great pay-per-view, and I was just so proud and happy for it all. Like I said, every generation of women that came through, because every woman in different ways has broke down different barriers in the industry.
Cedric, speaking of women who sort of breaking down barriers, someone you know very well, Big Swole.
My wife.
Yeah. Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah, so she's a big friend of the site that we work called TWM.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of her news last night that she signed for AEW?
She's such a great talent. Like,
I mean, honestly, you
I
probably
You're like,
train with
oh,
her every week. I mean, you know that dirty dancing move she does.
Oh.
I helped improve that.
Oh, really? Oh, there we go.
It's my thing. It's a hard question to answer. I'm gonna leave that no comment. There's some extenuating circumstances with that I am not at liberty to say. So for now, I'm gonna have to not answer that one. Can't really answer that one, right?
Fair enough.
Was there a learning curve going from 205, where the athleticism was the key factor, going up to a Raw where there's a lot more strength and power?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Oh God, because I remember my first match was with Cesaro, and I had never wrestled him before. And I'm thinking, okay,
That was the first time you guys had what?
First time we ever touched.
Wow.
We ever touched in any way. And I just remember thinking, yeah, I'm a cruiserweight, I'm a little faster than him. I'm strong though, so I'm quicker. I can hit him. It's fine. It's no big deal. The first time he grabbed me was terrifying. He really is pound for pound the strongest man I've ever been in the ring with. And getting hit with those uppercuts, it's like I thought my heart was gonna stop. It's such a concussion feeling. Oh man, it's so weird. It's I don't say weird. It's just it hurts. It hurts a lot. I'm trying to know way it hurts. It hurts.
So did your training need to change at all? Because you went
100%.
from the
So
205 to the.
So this is where I run into the problem of I want to stay around 205, but then I have to do this, and I have to beef up. I've had my calorie intake is a lot higher now, so now
Well, that's a good thing.
everything's a lot different. Everything's a lot different. I can eat more and not feel as bad because I got to put on the extra weight to be able to take some of these blows from these big guys and be able to blow back. And so yeah, it's a big learning curve, but not in necessarily having to change my strategy or how I approach a match, but really more so just the physical aspect, because now I have to focus more on my strength, my endurance, and a little bit less on the speed. I can still be quick, but I need to be able to hit and get hit.
Nikki, Manchester and sort of the Northwest is probably very special to you because you made your Smackdown debut here last year. And 2013 you made your NXT debut in Liverpool.
Yes.
How was that?
Rosebud!
Yes. But also it was on a house show. You actually wrestled just as Nikki Glenn Cross as well in the Echo Arena.
Echo Arena. God, it's such a special place, and even on Monday, we have our show. WWE Raw is going to the Hydro in Glasgow, so it's just I love Manchester, and I think you've touched on it already. Like, this is a lot of memories for me. In Liverpool was the Echo Arena, and that was the first time I'd ever came to WWE, and we did a match, and that was my first experience. And from there, after then, we had a tryout in London 2015 in the O2 Arena. So it was just I was really lucky enough and blessed enough to have these great opportunities, and they were within driving distance from Glasgow. Yeah. A long drive from Glasgow to London, but just so lucky, and that's what I love being back here, and it's not just the toast and the beans and the cheese toasties. It's just such a scented cheese toasties. My mom made the best. she had the dairy cheese and she had the butter, and she'd put on so much butter, but it was great, it wasn't too much butter, and then so much dairy, and the dairy would be oozing, and it would be in the toast. Oh my god, you can't get them anywhere.
Flashbacks, aren't you? You're right.
Oh, I'm getting flashbacks.
Cedric, what's it like when I coach with her? Like
this? Yeah, it's like this. Even when she's dead tired?
Yeah.
Still like this.
Still like that.
Still full of energy. I understand it.
So so it's not just about being home and getting the cheese toasties. It's a lot of sentimental value, and it's just a reminder of this is where I came from. This is where I grew up a lot, learned a lot, and it just shows me that there's still so much left I want to do, but it's so great to come back here and just remember how it all started. Keeps your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you follow-up question. Do you feel like you're kind of representing Scotland every time you step in the ring?
Oh, 100%. And there's myself, there's Drew McIntyre, there's Noam Dar with NXT UK, there's Kaylee Ray with NXT UK, there's Piper Niven, there's Isla Dawn on NXT UK, and we have such a good little, good group, and I've always tried to have the Scotland flag represented in my gear and attire in some way, shape or form. Because it's important to me. I was the first ever Scottish woman to be signed with WWE, and I think that that's such an accomplishment that should be celebrated and taken seriously. And and I said this earlier on today, you want to meet those expectations, but you also want to exceed them to a great level. So for me, I 100% want to represent Scotland, and I really hope I make Scottish fans proud of Nikki Cross.
Can I ask if either of you or both of you would want to see more intergender wrestling in WWE?
Pew 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 pew. I can take you.
Just do it.
What? There's a part of me that like there's some matches I kind of really want to see, just to see how they would go. Like, okay, this might sound crazy. Hear me out. Sasha Banks versus Rey Mysterio.
Oh, be fast.
I think that'd be
Fast.
I'm curious to see that. I mean,
I agree. There's a lot of.
I don't know. There's like a lot of. I don't know.
But we have the mixed match challenge. We that was
Yep.
massive success, and everyone loved that because I think it was something a little different that people could sink their teeth into. And there's so much more we can do with mixed match challenge. We could do it more often, and but I think that it's really successful.
Yeah.
And for me, we tell these stories on WWE television. We tell so many different stories, and 100% that's an avenue that could be explored more with the stories. Because what we do is it's no different to other TV shows that are produced weekly. And I think the fans would be very intrigued to see what else we could do with that.
And then you asked that question, and that reminds me, China was the first woman with the Intercontinental Championship.
Yep. Yes,
Instantly popped in my head.
And she competed in the Royal Rumble, as did Beth Phoenix.
And she was co-champion with Jericho as well.
Yeah.
She was co-champion. I remember that feud. Oh man. That's
that takes us back nostalgia.
That was so good.
Sure. Yeah, go on. Good.
I was just going to follow up with that, as you mentioned the mixed match challenge. Who are your ideal mixed match challenge partners?
I mean, of course, it's my wife.
Yeah.
Love Big Swole to come over and let's
yeah.
Let's do the Swole family. We've already got tag moves planned out. Trust me. We've already got tag moves. We got it all. We got tag. We got the taunts. We got the entrance on it. I've dreamed about this. I've dreamed about this for a while.
Obviously, me and my husband Killian Dane, he's making waves right now down in NXT. So for me, I would love to do a mixed match challenge with him because he had a huge part of my training coming up from 2008. So he had a huge part of my training. He guided me and helped me a lot. And he's really like someone that I turn to a lot when I need ideas or advice, or I just steal his ideas.
You guys share.
We share. It's a marriage, we share. So for me, like being able to work with him is always been fun. I work with him in Sanity. I work with him on the independent scene. We have so much fun working together. So I would love to work with him on Mixed Match Challenge.
So if you could
Swole take you guys.
We don't even start.
I'm saying it.
Don't even.
I'm saying she's Big Swole. I'm saying
she has Big Swole, so yeah,
Bro, she got beer guns in me.
I think that could be a little match there.
Hey.
I love that. I love that idea.
So, kind of connected to that, if you could pick one woman from outside of WWE,
Okay.
who would you pick to take on?
Outside WWE, outside WWE.
You got a long list. I can name 3 I want to see.
Yeah, I can name one.
Oh, go, tell me.
Tessa Blanchard.
Ooh.
I helped train her.
Who was yours? You said 3.
Who was mine? Oh, so well, Tessa was one of them.
Oh.
And of course Ariel.
Oh, of course. I never got to work with it.
She
never worked with Tessa either, actually.
So, the first time she ever heard of you was when you started introducing yourself as like the macadamia cheesecake cookie
the white chocolate cheesecake was Sports Entertainment because I was obsessed with like white chocolate, like cheesecake. I was obsessed with it, and I was on an independent show, and they gave me a microphone, and I had to talk about, I was the best in the galaxy. So I needed a nickname that reflected that, and I love cheesecake. I love white chocolate cheesecake, and I was like, I'm going to call myself something I love. I'm going to call myself the white chocolate cheesecake of Sports Entertainment.
You should bring that back.
I should bring that back.
So good.
Goodness gracious, I'm trying to think of someone outside WWE. She's retired now, but man, I need Toyota.
Ooh.
She's retired now.
My
That would have been amazing. She was.
my third choice would have been Mako Sakurai.
Oh. Huge
Huge fan.
Go on, you pick one for yourself. Not
Ooh.
but man.
Oh man.
Or either. Yeah.
All the guys I really want to wrestle kind of in the WWE.
Yeah.
Way. That is really hard now. It's really hard. Okay, AR Fox is definitely one. I haven't rapid wrestling yet. Eddie Kingston, another guy.
I love
Who I love Eddie. I never had a chance to wrestle him. His third choice. Okay, this is selfish. Darius Lockhart. He's a guy that I also have trained, and I've seen him grow from. I literally met this kid as like he was like 17, 16-year-old kid. I saw him in the gym randomly, and he said, "Oh, I really love your work in Ring of Honor." And I was like, "All right, cool, thanks, man. Good to meet you." And he shows up a year later at the training school. I'm training him. He goes to England. He comes here on his own. Trey stays for 3 months. He's here now, actually. I didn't see him yet. But no, yeah, I'm so proud of him. So proud of him. And I haven't had a chance to wrestle him in some years, so I'd love to see how much he's grown.
I like that. I love that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys.